So today I'm gonna show you my latest thrift haul, what I'm gonna make with it, as well as what to look for when you are thrifting and you wanna find things to upcycle, sew with, or knit with. Hi, my name is Matilda and welcome back to Miss Matti. In today's video, I'm going to show you all my latest thrift finds over here in this bag. The only thing I'm not going to show you is this blanket that I also thrifted, and that's because it's currently being occupied and I'm not gonna take a blanket away from a guest. And if you want more tips on what to think of when you're thrifting for upcycling, check out this video over here after you finish watching this video. So now let's get started. So I think I'm gonna start with showing you these yarns. I don't know if you can see the colors really correctly here. It looks much more fire orange here. It's actually more of a fluorescent orange. Yeah, you see it better here. So interesting how light shifts in reality versus on camera. It's the Lime brand yarn. Go for Faux. So it's like a faux fur type of yarn. See here, like it's very fluffy. So the yarn was sold in a bag, and it had also pink, which I have detangled and rolled into a ball of yarn. Maybe you can tell it's also fluorescent. And then I got it in white. This one is the only one that isn't fluorescent of them all. I tested it in UV, but it's a really nice white fluffy yarn. Then we got this like bright neon yellow. And all of them were sold, as I said earlier, in a bag together. And I couldn't tell at the time that most of them were really tangled into each other. And I suspect that's why the yarn was donated. So it really took some time to untangle all that mess. But if you're willing to do that, then you can get yarn for cheap at the thrift store. I think it's worth it because I think all of that is like $7. If I find a price, I will put it over here for you. So what I'm planning to do with this yarn is that I would really like to make a crocheted fluffy bucket hat out of this one. I think it will look really awesome. And this one, I might make something for my husband in, maybe a hat, maybe something else. When I mentioned that I wanted to make a fluffy bucket hat of the pink, he told me that he used to have a fluffy green hat that he loved, but lost the first time he ever wore it. So to make up for that, over 20 years later, I might make a hat out of this yarn for him. I do not know if this is enough or if we need to combine it with some other colors or some other quality of yarns. We'll see. And then I want to make a fluffy crochet crop top out of this yarn, I think. Might combine it with something like this, but I'm not really an orange person, so I'm not sure about that. So now I'm gonna show you what else I got. So I got these very sexy caps. Definitely not something I wanna wear, and it's not why I got it. I got it to Upcycle. They had actually a lot of them for sale in the thrift store. I don't know what it is. It's some type of company's caps. cftc.qc.ca. Let me actually check it up. What is this? I think it is Commodity Futures Trading Commission. No, that's not correct because we are in Quebec, Canada. The acronym would be for something French, and I think it is Centre de Formation et Transport de Charlesbourg, wherever Charlesbourg is. So it seems to be some type of organization for the professionals and the workers in the transport industry. Seems to be the theme. A lot of the caps that I have thrifted, that had really good pricing, and I bet most people wouldn't want to wear. Like, they're not like a Nike cap or like an NHL cap or similar. They seem to be from different tradesmen and workplaces and so on. And I paid a little bit more for these caps compared to some of the other caps I got before to Upcycle, but I think it's worth it because it's such a good quality cap. The brim seems really sturdy and really nice, and because they've never been worn, this sweatband and stuff is obviously not used, so it's in a really good condition, and so is this what do you call it, strap adjuster. And then if you compare that to how much it costs to buy a new brim, new sweatband, new little strappy thing here, it will be more than $4.49. Anyway, so that's what I'm gonna use it for. I have already some caps I thrifted in the past that I'm gonna make dad caps out of. Actually, I have already started, but because I moved last year, that project went into the UFO graveyard. So I think I need to go and rescue those dad caps that I started out of my UFO pile. The next two things I'm gonna show you are actually just tools I got to do some dyeing at home. I needed what do you call it, tongue. And I needed also a metal spoon. This one was sold as is, but these were sold in one of those bags at the Value Village where you get a lot of different things with, and I didn't really want any of the other items, so I'm gonna donate them back. So this is the type of bag I'm talking about. So that was like $5.99. I'm seeing here that they have a slotted spoon in here too, which I don't own. So maybe I will use this one until I get something nicer. I might clean this up, give it a go. Then there's some really nice wooden spoons in here, but I really do not need any more wooden spoons. This spoon was definitely the best they had available in store. I think it's gonna be really good for when I'm dyeing, which I'm gonna do hopefully next week. Let's see what I else got in this bag. So I got these, oh my god, it looks so creased. I got these pants in this blue denim. They are really sad pants. While baggy pants, cargo pants are in again, and I do not mind that trend. This is not the style. It's like some sad work pant, I think. They're like broken here, although they still had a tag on, so I do not know if this was a return or what happened to them. Anyway, it doesn't matter because we are gonna upcycle these. So I really wanted to make my husband a dad cap that said Rave Daddy on it, but I didn't find the right fabric until I found these pants. I think this blue gonna be awesome because I have this iron-on vinyl that is all fluorescent and lights up in UV. So I think I'm gonna use that to make the little Rave Daddy print with. So I'm filming the video where I'm making dad caps from upcycled material, and this project will definitely be included. So subscribe if you are not already and you wanna not miss once that video goes live. I have no idea when it will be, but it will come. Eventually. Let's see what the last thing I thrifted was. So it's this dress. Oh my god, it stinks of fabric softener, that is. It's this like quite flimsy, asymmetrical dress. The material, don't care for that very much, but what I do care for is this long metal zipper. This one I got for $12.99, and these metal zippers can easily be sold for at least $50. Maybe sometimes you can find them for cheaper, but they're really expensive to buy new. So that's the real reason I got it. And I would highly recommend you, when you are thrifting for things to upcycle and sew with, look for hardware that you could reuse. It might be like this dress where the rest of the dress is not the best, but the zipper is awesome. Or do you find some awesome buttons or buckles or similar? I really think it's worth looking for things like that. So in the video I mentioned earlier with my best thrift tips for upcycling. Many of you commented and gave some really great thrifting advice, so I'm gonna share some of them. This one is: I purchase garments for fabric, not for size. Most garments in thrift stores no longer have a size label. Take a tape measure and know your measurements. I think this is actually a really good advice because sizing varies so much from brand to brand, also depending on which era the garments are from, and also sometimes garments are not in the correct size section. I will never forget one of my best thrift finds, which is my denim jacket, and that was hanging in the large section, and the label says it's a size 16, but it's really more like a size 16 kids rather than a size 16 UK or US. I wear plus petite. I do find it hard to find clothes to fit. I can really understand that. I have these two tips. 1, develop a running wish list. That way, when you go shopping, you have an idea of what to look for. I'm also a big fan of the wish list. I have one on my phone. One that is more specifically to things I want to add to my wardrobe and thrift as is. Then I have another one that is for fabric and yarns, and that list also includes things I want to find in a thrift store and upcycle. 2, I'm lucky in that where I live I have a bunch of thrift stores to go to. I go about once a month. Keep your eyes and ears open for thrift stores you may have not heard of or that are in the next town from where you live. That's also a really good tip. I need to go more regularly. I feel like since I moved to Montreal, I have barely been thrifting, although this city seems to have a lot of good options. So if you are based in the Montreal area and have some recommendations on great thrift stores, let me know in a comment down below. As a plus size, I do find it hard to find my size sometimes, and I've seen many times smaller women pick them up for upcycling or downsizing. However, they found the item first, so they have the choice to buy it or not to buy it for whatever use they want. I have also purchased smaller items for upcycling into larger projects, so I feel it works both ways. So in that video, I did bring up that many people that are plus size, they have opinions about smaller women thrifting and upcycling plus size clothes. And many of you voiced your opinion, pro and against, in the comment field. I love this comment as well from Jackie James. Once, a long time ago, I found 2 vintage quilts in a thrift store. I bought the one that was worse in shape. There were 2 reasons for that. 1, I liked the color of it, and 2, I could afford it. The one that was in better shape was almost $100. The other one was $25. I bought the cheaper one and spent several months repairing it. I'm very proud of the work I did on it, and I like to think the lady who made it was happy too. I love this. That's another thing to think about. Like, if you're willing to put in the effort and time, you can make some real bargains in the thrift store. Like buying a handmade quilt for $25 if you're willing to spend the time to repair it. As for curtains, think that they are made to be furniture. It is better to upcycle them into something that doesn't contact with your skin, like a jacket or a skirt with lining. And well, don't forget that some curtains are very synthetic and also very flammable. Nowadays, shops have, I hope, some restrictions about flammable furniture, but vintage ones. That's a very good point. I did recommend people to look for curtains to upcycle, and I think this is something that you want to pay attention to if you want to upcycle curtains. Gosh, it's getting really warm. The sun has come out, as you can probably see. The sun is on my top there. I'm gonna take this off. Many of you also really recommended me to go to the bins. I have still not been, but if you do know where I can find some bins in the greater Montreal area, let me know. I would love to go. I would definitely recommend going to the bin stores. Usually bin stores are the item's last chance before getting shipped to a different country, and the prices are dirt cheap. Just set aside a lot of time, wear comfortable clothes, and bring gloves if you're scared of germs. I also seen some people haul thrift from the bins here on YouTube, and it could be really good to have the gloves because you never know what's hiding inside the bins. I've seen some people getting some really weird sticky things on their fingers, hitting some sharp things. I'm not sure if this is applying to all bin stores, but just be mindful when you digging through the bins. Then Arvetta, who always leaves awesome comments on my videos. I'm not gonna read a whole comment, but the thing I want to highlight here is find a better fabric to upcycle is men's shirts. And I have no problem in buying oversized men's shirts in pinks, lavenders, yellows, flowered prints, and other prints or colors that are usually used for women's and girls' garments. Most of these shirts are usually still new because most men will not wear them. And that's a really good point. I also find that the men's shirt selection varies a lot depending on which area you go to. The Value Village I bought these items, or Village Travelers, had a terrible men's shirt section, whereas many other Value Villages has aisles of it. Yard for yard, the best prices on the highest quality fabrics are in thrift stores. No one should feel guilty about upcycling, repurposing, and parting out garments and other items when their next stop is the landfill. A few weeks ago, my boyfriend and I found this truly god-awful neon pink cotton fabric with children and blue giraffes on it. The copyright is from 1971 and it was only $2 for the whole thing. We're going to turn it into slings for ski patrol patients. Oh, that's definitely something I would have never thought about myself, and this is why I love reading your comments, because I'm learning and getting new tips from you. So what did you think of my thrift finds? And also, if you have more tips, let us all know in a comment down below. And until next time, bye!